say it was a boxing fight that had gone the distance with a one on punch quite comfortably, but yeah, as I said, it wasn't to be. I thought it was a perfectly good goal which has been disallowed. Still don't know why it's been disallowed. He said there was like pushing in and around the box, but from how far wide and how deep the set play coming from, I just can't see how we can give that. And Billy Turley gets close, Adam Farrell follows him down, gets past him, stands his ground, he runs in the back of him, so to me it's a penalty, but it's a disappointing goal we conceded because it didn't really look a threat. Apart from that, kind of go around having much to do. So, good response to the defeat on Saturday, good performance. One or two really good individual performances in there, but as a team collectively, I thought it was really a good response.
What do you think that the difference was from that performance against Stockport?
We marked. I said that was it. I said that if you look at the goals against Stockport, were all individual errors. As much as a turn around the other week when we beat North Ferriby and said that the layoff had been good for us. I think the second layoff straight after hasn't been good. I said we've gone 2 games. We had 2 games in the whole of the month, and I think it showed. Not fitness wise, because I just think concentration, being in sort of like game match situations, and probably the first 2-week break we actually got a game against Chester, which we weren't able to get one in the second break. So but again, good reaction today. So I've got to take the positives. We've got 2 home games now on the bounce, and a nice draw on the trophy.
Well, many teams will come here and actually think a draw is a fantastic result. I guess you may go home disappointed, really, in a way.
Yeah, as I said, it obviously disappointed the fact that we probably should have won the game. I said, but I've always looked at performances and merit and said, well, I can't come away disappointed after the work rate they put in. I think we are getting a little bit down to the bare bones with squad wise. It was my choice to let a couple of them out. No Dan's loans nearly up, but as I said, Jake can always pull back, but right wing doesn't really seem to be a situation where we've got about 8 of them. So we'll get to train on Thursday, see how everything is. Hopefully Chris will be fine, and then we've got another body back, so I'll go for a go again. Yeah,
you've got an injury problem first of all with Chris Lever. So what's the situation there?
He's just got an ear infection. Was just, as I said, earaches, toothaches. There's not really much you can actually say about that. It's not a type of thing when someone's saying they've got severe earache. I wouldn't really want him to be defending against Brackley, so he's best off staying at home. I thought Matty come in and looked like the old Matty.
Do you think that was his best performance so far? Is that what you've been looking for in him?
Yeah, without a doubt. And as I said, I think he come on as well against North Ferriby in the second half when Lee's got injured and done great. So, I think the shape of the team suits him. And as you will say, the work rate of the ones in behind. Tony Gray works so hard, and Clance in them areas what people like to think the sort of like luxury positions, but the only way this system works is the 3 in behind the 1 actually work harder than ever.
Not good news about Andy Owens. Of course he scored the goal, which is great, but it's a hamstring pull, you think?
Yeah, as I said, before we had time to come off, someone's dropped the ball in the corner. You can see him started running after it again. You can see him laving and so. But yeah, as I said, forward wise, I think Adam come on and done well. Obviously Mike, when the game's stretched and he goes down the middle. So all in all, we've got that area covered.
You've got Robbie Booth who can play in defence. Could you bring Dan Preston back? Dave Bayliss has now finally left Barrow. Is that an option? Can you do that?
Well, you can bring him back after 28 days now. But the first 28 days, you can't bring anyone back on a loan. I don't know exactly how. I think it's 3 weeks has gone now, hasn't it? So, but certainly be there or thereabouts. The only thing is, it wouldn't really help me out that much because I couldn't imagine Dan O'Burney doing the job for me at right back. So, but the flip side, I think if we would have had Dan tonight, it would have been very, very tempted to start him.
Could you bring some new faces in, or possibly a new signing?
As I said, I haven't really been looking. I said you always look to improve as you go along, but as I said, to where we are and what we're looking to do. Again, I've also got the option of Matt Bailey, which if there was anyone who was going to do it for you.
How close could that be?
Well, I've got to be fair to Matt as well, in the fact that he's actually getting game time. I always thought he needed at least 8-9 games, 90 minutes under his belt before he could actually then. But I see him as a forward, not as a defender. It's nice to have the double. the options if you ever want to go through and put an extra one in there. But really speaking, I see him as a forward, but you need it to be a touch sharper and one thing and another. So I've got to weigh it all up and get through, see where we're up to on Thursday. And plus the fact he's trophy time now as well.
Finally, on track, aren't you? I mean, you look at the league table. I mean, it's very tight at the top, as it will be. But when you come to somewhere like Brackley and play like that, it shows what you're capable of doing.
Yeah, to me, I'd say we probably aren't on track. I said if you say, well, how many games is that we played now? 13 games, and we've only got 22 points. Really, we're 4 points off track. But I'm sure, we've got some games coming up, and if we turn up and we perform, we put the work rate in as we did today. Well, hopefully them games will be, we can start trying to claw some of the points back.